Okay.
So she just taking a picture or recording?
Video.
And she has to post it to YouTube.
You might want to post it for.
You want to turn off the light or leave the light?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Okay. So, hi, I'm Ray Gonzalez, and today I'll be talking to you about time management. 24 hours in a day, 60 minutes an hour, and 60 seconds in a minute. How fast I write this sentence is about how fast time seems to move these days. We never seem to have enough of it, and it just like really slips out of our hands. What is time management? So this is my perspective on time management. It is the ability to use one's time effectively and productively, especially in a work environment, school environment, something like that where you really have to focus on your time. Time is something everybody loses and we can never get back. So really using a time management, like this skill, helps us create like boundaries and help us utilize all our time that we have. Life is hectic, spontaneous, and beautiful, but in this crazy mess, we seem to lose our time, and we even lose ourselves in just everything that we do. So when we lose ourselves, we really don't know what we're doing ourselves, and so creating this time management schedule helps us create what's important to what's not important in our life. When is time management necessary? So I think it's necessary in your personal life, your everyday life, and or your work life and school life, so which is every day. You kind of use it then. There's quite a bit of external factors that are impacting your time every day, so it's important to stay focused, especially like in all these, there's so many things distracting you. You don't really want to multitask because then you can like get distracted on one versus the other and vice versa, so then you'll have to go back and redo it anyways. Starting to manage your time, everybody fails at first, and it's not going to be like, oh, we just did it and now I'm on this perfect schedule and everything's going to be right and I'm going to have all this free time because I've already scheduled my time. No, everybody fails at first, so whenever you're first starting out, don't just get discouraged or anything, because it's just really a learning process, and every day is a new day. And so every time you create a new schedule, something's not going to work, but it's going to be okay. You really have to learn how to say no to things when you're incorporating this in your life, because when you try to say yes to everything, you'll have too much on your plate. And so it just won't work out. So it's a learning experience. You learn about yourself, your activities, and your lifestyle. You really catch what you're doing in your life, because you have to prioritize all your most important things to your non. Okay. Clock time versus real time. Now this is something I found in one of my sources. I've never really heard this before, so it's kind of interesting and I put it in here. So they describe clock time as like your basic, you're reading a clock, or you're on your phone and you're reading that clock right there, and it's easier to manage time on systems or like gadgets when you're doing that. So that's kind of helping for the time management thing. Real time is like you're living in the moment. And this was really interesting to me because you never thought of them as the two different times. And real time would be living in the moment, and you're not really looking at a clock, but you're judging time on what you're doing and how you're feeling. And so if something's going like you're not really interested, then it's going to drag real slow and time's going to move like really slow. But if you're really interested in, time can move really fast, and it just is weird how they based it on two different things. So it's kind of interesting. So incorporating time management schedule into your life. Well, first you have to prioritize, as I already said, by developing these skills and creating a schedule, which is the next one. It kind of creates a base for the whole time management like skill. So when you prioritize, you're figuring out what's most important to what's not. And then from there, you can kind of just like give it time blocks, and then that goes into creating your schedule, getting organized, using planning tools. I even avoid multitasking again because it will not help. So when you're using planning tools and getting organized, you want to make sure that you have the best thing that fits yourself, because if it fits somebody else, it might not fit you. So just doing that, and then delegating tasks. This is one that's not really thought of in time management because you're kind of doing it for yourself. But delegating tasks can help because you're not going to be able to do everything. So it's okay to get help from others and just ask other people to like join in on your schedule. So that, and then reward yourself in the end. It's always important to reward yourself because you've tried so hard, you've created a schedule, you've done time blocks, and then you've actually gone through with the task. You should reward yourself with just something small or like a drink or something. And then, what can creating a time management schedule do for you? So there's many like pros to creating a schedule like this, or implementing the time management skill into your life, because it can relieve stress, free time, find out what is important to you, and lead to happiness. Okay, so I'm going to kind of talk about the ones that I just listed real fast. Relieving stress. So you'll not be stressing if you cannot fit all your tasks in because you already have them scheduled. And then in the end, this leads to free time, because in the end, once your things are all scheduled, you might have free time in the end, so you can use it to yourself or just do whatever you want with it because everything's already done. And then you find out what is important to you. You find out this kind of when you're prioritizing, but in the end, you can really figure out what it was that was important to you. Because when you're listing all the things that you have to do in your life, you find out what your life revolves around. From number one, your life revolves around, if it's working with your kids, that's your number one thing. And then it goes to the end where it's like watching a movie, that's your least important thing. So you just find out that your kids are more important than watching a movie. So this just really helps time management, the skill. And then it can just lead to happiness, because once you implement all this in your life, you gain all these, you're happy because you know what you're doing with your life, and then you know what not to do. You get more free time and you relieve stress, and then it just leads to like a healthier lifestyle, because once you create a happy environment and you're happy, you like let it go to others, and then it just creates a happy environment for you. So when everybody's getting along and happy, then it'll be good. Okay, final thoughts. This skill can open up many doors. It opens up so many with scheduling and work and just basically life and all. And then failure is the only thing that makes you stronger. So it's okay to, like I said, it's okay to fail and all that, because it only pushes you to do more the next time you do it. And then you'll eventually get on a schedule. I mean, I started this back in high school, and now it's just like grown for me. So it really helps, and that's kind of it. Thank you.
That's it.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Reward ourselves. We need to go reward ourselves.
You provided some hip.
That's a Sonic happy hour.
Yeah, that's all I can be on.
Good job, Rand.
Thank you.
Great so much.